Hello and welcome to the Home Business Radio Network. This is Melanie Militix coming to you from beautiful sunny Florida. Today I want to talk to you about balance, about achieving a balance in your life and in your work with your home-based business. If you consider yourself to be, scattered all over the place, have a problem with procrastination and keeping things organized, then this topic today is absolutely for you. And if you instead are one of those hyper-organized people and you have no idea why people on your team are all over the place, this is also for you, because it will give you some tools that you can provide for them to help them to move forward in their business. And it's very, very true that virtually none of us who start in a home-based business are actually business people. And so we need to learn how to be business people. And one of those things, absolutely, is by balancing your life, balancing your business with your family, with your health, and having a life that is in harmony. Now, there's two different ways that I think of things being out of balance, and neither are particularly healthy. The first is somebody who isn't necessarily taking their home-based business seriously enough. Maybe they're not finding the time in their schedule. They're thinking that they're too busy really to do this home-based business. That applies to many, many people, and it will stagnate the business and perhaps never even get off the ground. So we're going to give you a tool to deal with that here very, very quickly. But the thing to consider there is maybe the why isn't big enough. Maybe the pain isn't great enough for you. Maybe you really need to think about what you will do with the financial wealth that you'll be creating with your home-based business. And is that worth finding the time? Because if it's worth finding the time, I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to do that and fit it into your life here in just a couple minutes. On the other side of that unhealthy balance is really, it's the workaholic. And that is the person who they put everything into this business, and maybe their pain is really huge. Maybe it's so big that you find yourself overworking. And the unfortunate consequence of that is often that your family and those around you end up resenting this home-based business and, calling it a pipe dream and really raining on your parade. Now, there's a way out of that one as well. And that is, of course, by achieving balance. But it is by making sure that you are not mistaking just activity for productivity. That you aren't doing busy work in a striving, worrisome way to try to make this thing work. We're going to talk about exactly what you should be doing in the time that you do spend working your home-based business. Now, it's really important. We all know, that money does not buy happiness. And nobody is saying that you should put all of your time, energy, and everything into a home-based business because of the money aspect, right? But you know what money does buy? It buys you time, right? And time is far more valuable because you can never buy back what is lost. So it's crucial that you do achieve balance, that you do learn to work your business smart and hard in the time that you have so that you can play hard when you're off. A life by design really means that you are going to work when you want to, doing something you love, right? And you're going to work it around your family's schedule. So you're going to work smart now and hard in the time that you do dedicate to your business. And then you're going to play really, really hard. You may choose to travel. You're going to eat whatever you want. You may go on wild, crazy adventures. It's up to you. Work with charities. All of it is up to you. Now, most people start their home-based business part-time. That is, by definition, you have limited time. And I'm going to share with you now the most effective tool ever. It is the most amazing thing that you're going to be able to use to help your business to grow going forward. You ready? You have a pen and paper, right? It's a calendar. And it's a paper calendar. Yes, we all love our phones. They're so smart. You can put your online calendar. It syncs with your phone. It's all very, very exciting. But I'm telling you, the most successful people in the world have a paper calendar. And there's very, very good reason for it. And we're going to go over a couple here in a minute. But the most important thing about a paper calendar is that you see the white space where you can fill it. Okay? So if you have a paper calendar and you are working this business part-time, you're going to see clearly the hours that you do have available to make this work. With your calendar, it makes perfect sense for you to put yourself first in terms of your health. You may want to schedule your workouts. Schedule when you're going to get good, healthy food for your family, right? Those things, that's part of balance and about a good, healthy, harmonious life. Make sure those things are on your calendar as well. And the most important thing that calendar gives you is white space to fill with productive activity, right? Not busy work, but productive activity. The primary activities that we're going to fill that space with are prospecting, presenting, and closing. Those are the things that actually make you money. So let's say you've got a calendar and it's got white space in the evenings, as most people do. The golden hours for working your home-based business are between 7 and 9 p.m. In fact, 7 to 8 p.m. are the best hour. If you have 1 hour a day to work it, that's when it is. But here's the magic. It's 7 to 8 p.m. in each time zone. So if you are really looking to not take time away from your children, if that is something that is really important to you, that's not an excuse not to put time into your home-based business, because you can work to prospect in a Western time zone. Unless you're in Hawaii, then you're kind of out of luck, right? But everybody else can work their business no matter what time it is that you've got to dedicate. The most important thing about this is that you've got a limited time. You've got to be efficient with that time. At first, your skill's not going to be that great, and what you lack in skill, you will make up in numbers. But it is really imperative that you get good and get good fast. So use scripts, practice them in front of the mirror, practice them, listen to them while you're traveling to and from work perhaps, and listen to yourself. Record yourself using the scripts and compare them to professional recordings. Get good so that during that time when you're working your home-based business, you are actually accomplishing the goal, which is prospecting, presenting, and closing, right? So I just gave you the golden hours, 7 to 9 p.m. There's a couple of other hours of the day I want to point out that are crucial in terms of building your own personal belief in what you're going to accomplish. And that's personal development time. Personal development is an intrinsic part of your growing as an entrepreneur. I say you cannot change your bank account until you've learned to change your mind. Sincerely, you've got to brainwash yourself. I recommend brainwashing yourself before 10 a.m. and after 10 p.m. Why? Because personal development, as incredibly important as it is, can be mistaken for work time. People like to say that they are working their home-based business when they're actually engaging in personal development. That's like education. That's not actually work, okay? So before 10 a.m., after 10 p.m. is a very good guideline for that. Now, here's the other trap. That is the online world. As you are working to build your business, both online and off, one of the most important tips I can give you is that you do not do any marketing when you should be talking to humans. That is absolutely busy work. Until it actually results in production, I cannot tell you that that is something that you should be doing during the limited time that you've taken away from your family and from your life to build your home-based business. During the prime time hours, you should be talking to humans. There's money in that phone. It's not on poking around online and on Facebook. That's planting seeds. Seeds that absolutely can and will come to fruition, but it is not necessarily business building activity. And if you're going to do that, again, do it outside the hours of normal human to human interaction time. Online, Facebook in particular, can be an incredible time sucker. It can give you the illusion of productivity, and you've got this feeling of just striving and reaching out, and my marketing's not working. I'm not generating any leads. Well, you know what? If you aren't generating prospects through your efforts on Facebook, then it really is not a fruitful activity. You'd be better off getting a hold of some pre-qualified leads so that you can actually talk to people. Because I said, there is money in that phone. I started off talking about two types of imbalance. The first was the person who didn't feel like they could balance, they could fit their home-based business that they were so excited about into their life. And I gave you a tool. That's your calendar. If you take your calendar and you actually map out the time that you have in a day and you subtract television time, there is absolutely time for you to get really great at the skills that you need to have to build your home-based business in the time that you do have. If you will dedicate at least an hour, better 2 hours a day, every day, to build your business, knowing that at first you're going to be paid very little and ultimately you're going to be paid a fortune for less work, and your family is going to be absolutely thrilled that you did take the time to work your business in your spare time. The second type of person was the one that was overworking, that is completely out of balance and, a workaholic. And we have a solution for that as well, which is working smart and hard in the limited time that you have by actually doing the productive activities of prospecting, presenting, and closing during that limited time versus doing busy work of perhaps doing education during your work time or poking around online thinking that that is productive when in fact it's really just a time waster. So if you will work smart and not hard instead of striving and putting in tons of hours with the illusion that that is going to make you successful, you will be unusually successful in your home-based business, and your family is going to love you for working hard during those hours so you can play hard in your balanced life by design. You've been listening to Melanie Miletics on the Home Business Radio Network. You can visit me on the web at melaniemiletics.com. Click on the Home Business Radio Network tab and send me your feedback. Give me your questions. Give me a topic you'd love to hear me cover on the next show. And until then, you've got to dream big.